Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be looking at St. Thomas's second argument of why God does exist. Remember last time we took a look at the first way, which is the argument from motion. If you did not watch that little video, please go back and do that and take care of the questions there before moving on with the second way. Okay, again, gonna apologize for any lag in the computer. Okay, all right, so we're just gonna go ahead and move through. Hopefully this particular one won't take us super long. Okay, so we got that. We answered our question. So the second way is essentially cause. It is going to be a cosmological argument. That it is impossible, essentially, for any natural thing to be complete and sufficient source of its own existence. There must be an uncaused cause capable of imparting existence to all other things. So basically, kind of with this idea of movement and motion and growing in life, something has to have caused its existence. Things don't just appear for no reason. Essentially. So like you can't just have a human spring out of the dirt. Something has to have caused that dirt to, or cause that human to spring out of the dirt, if that makes sense. So basically it's like I would have to exist before I existed in order for this to make sense. But we know that's not the case. Like we're not eternal, immortal beings. So we had to have come from somewhere. Something had to cause that. Okay. So for example, my existence can be explained by my parents' existence. Like I'm here because my parents had a child and that was me. And their existence can be explained by their grandparents and like so on and so forth. So like you're here because your parents had a child and your parents are here because their parents had a child and all the way back. But every set of parents had to have parents. There could never like not be parents, right? But if we follow this all the way back, at least one set of parents must not have had parents, like, because it has to start somewhere. Like eventually you get to this end of this chain. And in the Bible that's explained as Adam and Eve. But Adam and Eve did not create their own existence. They were created by God, right? Who creates but is uncreated. So, you know, again, the cause was that God created them. They don't just miraculously arrive with no other intervention. There is something or somebody causing this. And if we follow the Bible and this logic from Thomas, it is going to be God. Okay. In his understanding of things, any series or systems of cause and effects require an originating cause. So like everything requires an originating cause. Like it has to have some initial reason or cause for it to happen. It just does not begin because it begins. So if you want to take the Big Bang Theory, for example, we know how the Big Bang Theory works out, and science would say this just is the natural way of things and this is how it works. But according to Thomas's, arguments, there would not be a cause, right? There is some originating cause, and he would say God is the one who caused this Big Bang Theory. It just doesn't happen out of the blue. And he is also the one who set these things in motion based off of our first argument. They don't begin on a whim. So he's just going to keep looping back. Well, there is an original mover in that, and there is an original causer, and that's going to be God. Okay, so we need to remember something briefly from Aristotle, and that's going to be the efficient cause, because I did mention that in the previous slide. You might be like, let's see, the efficient cause. Well, the efficient cause is that thing that triggers the activity or initiates it, and it's the substance by which change brings about, or by which change is brought about. Okay, so Aristotle is the one who coined this, and remember we talked about how Thomas is going to use Aristotle's ideas and logic to kind of help further his own arguments. So this idea of the efficient cause is that trigger, that thing that brings the activity. So obviously the efficient cause is going to be God, according to Thomas's argument, right? So in his own words, he says, in the world of sensible things, sensible being, we can touch, taste, see, hear, no, I forgot one, but that's fine. You know what I mean. Things we find there is an order of efficient causes. So there is kind of also another like hierarchy of these triggering items. Now, in efficient causes, it is not possible to go on to infinity because in all of these causes, all efficient causes following an order, the first is the cause of the intermediate cause, and the intermediate is the cause of the ultimate cause, whether the intermediate cause be several or one only. Sorry, it looks like it cut off the one only. Okay. So basically, he's saying, you have your first one, which might spawn some other things, and then they might spawn other things. And the intermediate, like that thing between the first and the final form, the cause in between those, that could be one thing or that could be many. But either way, if you take away the cause, you take away the effect, right? So if you get rid of this cause, you can no longer have the outcome. Therefore, if there is no first cause among efficient causes, there will be no ultimate nor any intermediate cause. Okay, so if you don't have something that starts it, you can't have that middle part and you can't have the final part. Therefore, it is necessary to admit that there is a first efficient cause, something that starts off this chain, right? And to which everyone gives the name of God. So basically he's saying that you have to have something that causes this change, right? And then there might be multiple other reasons that cause variety of changes and variety of outcomes. But if you do not have this first efficient cause, this first triggering point, none of this exists. And for Thomas, that is going to be God. Please ignore Boomer. He's being a jerk right now. All right. So God is the uncaused cause. Essentially, he triggers everything, right? So this is his, we're not going to go to the third way yet. This is his argument. Okay. So again, I will post a little understanding question for you to review and kind of process this particular argument. So far we have the argument of motion and we have the argument of cause. All right. If you have any questions, please let me know. Next week, we will look at the argument of necessity and go from there.